Hi there, I'm Rashonda. I'm the creator of this YouTube channel as well as the artbyro.com website where you can find over 250 art and drawing tutorials. In today's video, I'm going to be drawing a cute little chubby bird. It's a lot of fun, it's great for beginners, and hopefully you'll want to draw along with me. So let's go ahead and go on over to the art studio and get started on that tutorial. Today I'm going to be drawing this cute little chubby bird. It's pretty easy to draw. I think it's a lot of fun, and we're going to go ahead and get started by drawing some basic shapes. So we're going to do a circle for the body. He's going to be facing this way. We'll put some guidelines in there, and we'll have him standing on a tree branch down here. So this helps us to see overall how everything's going to be positioned, where he's going to be standing at, all those sorts of things. So if we need to make it bigger or smaller, we can do that before we have too much time put into this, getting some details put in. We can make some changes ahead of time and save us some frustration if we don't like how things look. So over here is going to be a wing, and again, we're going to add more detail to this, but this is going to be the basic shape of what the wing's going to look like. And then the beak will go right around in here. So I'm just going to draw just a simple beak. This is just a cute little cartoony type bird. We're not going to get too crazy with the details, just keep it easy and fun and just a light kind of a drawing, a little whimsical type drawing, if you will. And of course, we need to put some eyes. And I usually draw my eyes kind of big for my cartoon animals. I think it makes them look a little bit cuter. And then the head, of course, is going to come up here. And you can play around a little bit with the shapes, how you want the body to look, how you want the head to look. And then the body's going to come down here. I'm going to make my lines have a little bit of texture to them to represent some feathers. And then this wing, we'll just put some individual feathers in here. Kind of break it up a little bit, and then some of these other lines will get erased. And then we can add a little bit more detail in this tree limb down here that he's going to be standing on. Nothing too crazy again, just, and then I'm going to have his legs so kind of moving backwards away from his body like he's leaning a little bit. And that's pretty much it. We're not going to see his other wing. You could put a little bit of a wing in here if you wanted to, or leave it off. Either way is fine. That's up to you. So that's it for the drawing portion, and then we can go ahead and outline it. Maybe we'll put some little clouds up here. Just to add a little extra details. Break up this big area up here so it's not just a solid chunk of color. So the next thing is to do the outline. I like to use black pens for my outlines. If you use a black marker, they tend to bleed. And I found that the black pens are much better for this. And you get a nice, crisp, solid edge, but it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to be coloring my drawing with markers, so maybe you want to use something different. Maybe you want to use paint. or colored pencils or crayon or whatever it is. You can use anything to color your drawing. So maybe you will want to put a black outline around it. Maybe you won't. You could try using gray. You could use whatever color your bird is going to be. So I think I'm going to make him a bluish color, kind of a blue-green, keep it kind of fun and light. So I could try doing blue for the outline. There's a lot of different ways you can do your drawings. I like working on artist trading cards because they're small. I can put them in a little portfolio binder. And because they're smaller, it gives me a little bit more freedom to play around and try new things without investing a ton of time in my drawings. If I try something different and it doesn't work out, I don't like it, I haven't invested hours into a drawing where I'm going to risk something not turning out the way I want it to be, and then I just spent an hour on my drawing and now I don't like it. So the artist trading cards are fairly quick to make depending on how detailed you want to get with them. Obviously, you can do very detailed drawings, or you can do easy drawings, but either way, if you're working smaller, it's going to save time. So now I'm just going to use this big eraser. You can use a pink eraser for this, it doesn't matter. This just happens to be one that I have. And we're going to just clean this up. And then we can start adding some color. Now, a lot of times I will add a heavier outline on the outside. But I think for this one, I'm just going to keep it all one line weight for the outline. And then what I like to do is I'll choose a couple of markers for each color. So for example, the beak is going to be orange. So what I like to do is take a lighter orange and fill that in. And then I will use a darker orange and add a little bit of a shadow area to it. And then if I want to blend them, I can use the lighter color again and blend that out where those two colors meet. And then I will just do that for each area. So I'll do the same thing down here. And then go over some of the areas where I want it to be darker with a darker brown. And you can either leave the edge where the two of them are, kind of have that harsher solid edge, or you can blend them. That's up to you. You need to make your own decisions with your artwork of what you like and what you don't like. You should always be striving to make it your own, even if you're following along in a video and making your own drawings, which hopefully you are. Hopefully when you watch somebody's videos similar to this one, it inspires you to want to do some of your own drawings. I'm just going to add a little something up here to the clouds. And then I'm going to do the same sort of thing with the bird, with the lighter and the darker colors, and I will be back when I have that finished. So everything is colored in, and the only thing left to do is I like to use these jelly roll pens and add a little bit of white highlight over top of the marker. Put some little highlights in there. A few areas on the bird itself. And this is optional. If you don't like how the white looks, then of course leave it off. I like to break up the big areas of color and add a little bit of contrast with the white over the darker color. And that's it. This little guy is done. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and you feel inspired to create some of your own artwork. And I will see you next time. Happy creating! Well, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. That really helps us out. And also you can subscribe if you want to get notified of future videos. Before you leave, check out the description box. There's some information in there about our Facebook group. There's a freebie in there for you if you're interested, and some other good information you might want. So check that out before you leave, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!